Now I want to talk about proper positioning for the saxophone. Okay, so we talked about before about how you always want everything to feel as natural as possible. Okay, and when you're performing, you want to make sure that your limbs are relaxed and loose and free, and that there's no unnecessary tension anywhere. Okay, so the neck strap is going to be a critical aspect with this. If the neck strap is too low, you're going to have to bring yourself to the saxophone, right? If the neck strap is too high, again, you can see that my neck is not in a comfortable position. It's not natural to walk around like this. It's not natural to walk around like this. So put your saxophone where it feels natural. So what I first do is let go of my saxophone, okay? Let it hang down, and then I just put my thumb where the thumb rest is, and I just bring it to my lips, okay? Right now it's a little on the low side, so I'm going to bring my neck strap up just a bit, okay? You can see there it's going right into my mouth, okay? That means I'm not going to have to bring my mouth to the saxophone. If you have to adjust to bring yourself to the saxophone, then you need to adjust your neck strap, okay? So, we're relaxed. Right here, my saxophone is hanging. I don't have to do any work to hold it. And I'm not going to, contrary to popular belief, this isn't actually for holding the saxophone. It's just for maintaining control of the positioning, okay? If you're holding up your saxophone like this, you're going to put unnecessary stress on your hands, okay? Your hands should be relaxed. So, now this is for standing. Now step 2, if my saxophone is in my mouth, I should be able to support it without even using my hands. And you might notice that you'll have your saxophone sitting kind of where you're right left of your hip bone. For alto saxophone. This will also depend on height and the saxophone that you're using, but you'll notice that for alto saxophone it might fit right nice into your hip bone, and it'll kind of act as a natural support for the saxophone. So I have my neck strap adjusted, my saxophone, the butt of my saxophone is resting against me, the mouthpiece is in the mouth. Okay? No hands, right? Look, ma, no hands. Okay, so when you can do that with no hands, that means that your hands will be relaxed and free. And if you're doing challenging music with a lot of technique, you definitely want your hands relaxed and free. Okay, so you should be able to take a little walk with your saxophone. Okay, and that'll let you know that everything is in balance and your hands can be free. Okay, if you're holding it out like this. Now, on that topic, notice the angle at which my mouthpiece is coming into my mouth. Okay, there's a little bit of an upward angle to it. Okay, that upward angle affects what the lip is doing to the reed. If that angle becomes more straight, if I put my saxophone more out, it changes where that fulcrum is. It changes the type of sound you're going to get, okay? And it changes how much lip is on the reed and where the reed makes contact, okay? You'll notice here, in a natural saxophone playing position, there's a little bit of an angle, upward angle, okay? So that's also critical to sound. So if I'm playing like this, if I have it out, it drastically changes the tone quality. So you want to make sure that you're playing with the proper angle. And if you play in a natural way, that angle will naturally be there. Okay? So we have saxophone resting here. Okay? Mouthpiece is in the mouth. Neck strap is adjusted so that I'm not coming to the saxophone. Okay? That allows me to just place my thumbs where the supports are. Right? I don't need to do any lifting with the thumbs. They just are placeholders for my thumbs. Okay? and so I can manipulate the octave key easily. Okay? No holding. Alright, so now obviously all the fingers go on the pearls. You want to have your palm keys easily reached by your hand. If you have your fingers on G, the palm keys should be pretty much in reach, right? If your palm keys are unadjusted poorly, I notice I have a little riser there so that I can reach that high F easily. If your palm keys are not adjusted properly, you're going to have to do a lot of movement to get to them. You want to minimize that movement as much as possible, okay? So that your keys are easily accessible. Okay, that's for the left hand. There's a lot of exercises we can do for that. For the right hand, you want, and this will also depend on hand size, the tip of this knuckle, right, this part of your hand right here, right, you want that right on your side C key, okay? That way it can move quickly to all of these right hand keys, okay? So on the pearls, on the side key, okay? This will give you quick access. If you're going from an F to a high F, right, you shouldn't be coming out like this to go to a high F and hitting with this part of your hand. You should just be moving this edge up and down this key work right here. Okay, so that's proper hand position for the saxophone. Now, when you're seated, and I'll move this camera down. When you're seated, you'll want to make sure that, again, let the saxophone hang naturally, and then make sure you're bringing it to you. Now, I still have it adjusted for playing while I'm standing. If I bring it to me, notice that the mouthpiece isn't anywhere where my mouth is, okay? So what I'm going to need to do is, if you're the type of player that likes to play front, notice that it's still pretty much adjusted. If you're playing in between your legs, it's still pretty much adjusted in the right manner for when I was standing. So if you're playing between your legs, for alto that works fine, for tenor not so much, for bari definitely not. But you notice that this is pretty much the same. You won't have to make much adjustment. Let's say I want to play out to the side. Let's say I'm playing tenor. I have to play out to the side. I just make a few adjustments here to my neck, right? Twist the mouthpiece so that it's coming in at the proper angle. Okay? So now I'm able to bring the saxophone to me, and I don't have to make any adjustments here, right? I'm not doing any acrobatics with my arms or my position. It should just naturally come to me so that I can be as relaxed as possible. So if I have a passage that requires a lot of technique, that I don't have any undue stress anywhere, okay? Always as natural as possible, okay? So the neck is a little turned, the mouthpiece, if I hold my saxophone straight, right, this would be a flat mouthpiece, so the saxophone is off to the side, the mouthpiece is off to the side. If I hold it straight, you can see how tilted my mouthpiece is, but when I'm seated, it's just right. Okay? And that's proper positioning for the saxophone.